You're listening to Clearview Today with Dr. Abadan Shah, the daily show that engages mind and heart for the gospel of Jesus Christ. I'm Ryan Hill.
I'm John Galantis.
You can find us online at clearviewtodayshow.com. Or if you have any questions for Dr. Shah or suggestions for new topics, send us a text to 252-582-5028, or you can email us at contact@clearviewtodayshow.com.
That's right, and you guys can help us keep the conversation moving forward by supporting the show. You can share it online with your friends and family. Leave us a good 5-star review on iTunes or Spotify, anywhere you get your podcasting content from. Absolutely nothing less than 5 stars.
Because why would you?
I can't think of any reason imaginable where you would do that. Ryan, my friend, it is good to see you on another recording day.
Yes,
good
Thursday.
to see you. Hey, listen, I got a spot of good news for you, my friend.
Here comes the money.
Oh, man, I got another $1 million check burning a hole right in my pocket.
And I love that for me.
I'm going to give you $1 million, Ryan. This one's kind of involved. This one takes a little bit of setup.
Do it.
I'm going to give you the $1 million right here. This is a big fake check, Ed McMahon style, right?
Nice. Opa Publishers Clearinghouse.
There you go. So I need you to give me a random date. Just a random date. First date you think of.
June 24th.
All right, June 24th. I've got a dictionary app here that has the word of the day. I'm going to look up the word of the day for June 24th. Sanctimonious.
Sanctimonious. Okay.
$1 million. But anytime you hear the word sanctimonious, you turn into like a Jason Bourne Winter Soldier style sleeper agent.
100%.
Unstoppable.
Easy.
Really.
Yes,
you're going to hurt
absolutely.
people.
Do you know how often I encounter the word sanctimonious?
Oh, he's changing.
Oh.
Yeah, you turn, but I mean, like, when I say Winter Soldier, like
people are going to get hurt.
People are going to get hurt.
I would still take that. I don't know that I've ever heard a person say sanctimonious out loud, other than like reading something. I don't think anybody just drops that in conversation. That's an obscure one.
It's a very obscure word, but I mean, it's a gamble, dude. There's some people, especially like seminary students, they like to talk real. What does sanctimonious even mean?
Like self-righteous, holier than thou, kind of like.
Bro, that's seminary students, man. They're sanctimonious.
Yeah, I would.
All right. David, you give me a date. Pick a date. Any date at all. Just any date.
Can I also pick the year, or does it have to be 2024?
No, it's
not by year.
Not only can you not pick the year, you can't pick a date that hasn't happened yet this year.
Okay, well, then I'll pick.
That's just the way their app is set up.
I'll pick May the 5th.
All right, May 5th. Let's see what the word of the day was on May 5th. This is just the Webster's Dictionary app. May 5th, the word was proliferate.
Okay.
$1 million, but anytime you hear the word proliferate, you turn into a sleeper agent. A winter soldier. Like, the FBI is looking for you. They're trying to track you down.
I mean, I think I take it because I don't hear that often, but if I go to like any kind of like museum or like political thing where they're like talking about like the founding fathers proliferated on this, I'd be like,
And yeah, you're on a rampage too. You're almost unstoppable.
who am I trying to hurt?
I'm gonna say the Russians.
So is everybody a Russian in my eyes?
I don't know who you're trying to hurt. I think you're just on a rampage, but it's not like a Hulk rampage. Like, your skills are incredible.
I feel like you instantly snap to like, I'm behind enemy lines. I gotta escape by any means necessary.
But it's like Jason Bourne style. Like, it's not like you're rampaging like the Hulk or anything. It's like you remember the scene in Winter Soldier where in a Civil War where he changes and he takes on like every single Avenger and wins. Yeah. That's what it's like.
I'd
probably
take
I'd say it wears off after 48 hours.
Okay, does it reignite anytime somebody says that word again?
Oh, yes. Yes.
I'd probably take it.
So sanctimonious.
Sanctimonious proliferate. But you pick your date.
All right.
I'll do it. You pick your date.
Let's go my birthday, March 22nd.
March 22nd. Okay, let's see.
Yeah, March 22nd. It may need to load.
March the 22nd. Dragoon.
Yeah, 100%. Ain't nobody.
Dragoon.
What is a dragoon? That's a Pokemon.
Dragoon. Let's see.
Isn't it? That's a Pokemon.
Don't ask me that again. Dragoon. Dragoon means to force or convince someone to do something. To subjugate or persecute by harsh use of troops.
Yeah, I'm taking the money. That's an easy
example.
million.
Half of the workforce was laid off, but those whose roles turned out to be somewhat critical were begged to return. Some unlucky engineers were dragooned into launching the new Twitter Blue feature.
Ew, yeah, I'm taking the money.
Dragoon.
100% taking the money. Let's find out what Dr. Shah's word is going to be. This is kind of fun. Yeah, that's an easy million.
Yeah, I'd take that, absolutely.
Yeah.
Sanctimonious, proliferate, dragoon.
And dragoon, yeah.
As long as it's not something like
Good thing. Yeah, that's bad.
That would be terrible.
Yeah, good thing Merriam-Webster is very pretentious.
Write in and let us know if you were assigned a random date. You can choose one of our words.
Yeah.
Or if you want to send in a date, we'll do it for you.
Send in your birthday or the date of your choice,
Yep.
and maybe we'll shout you out on the show and let you know.
We'll give you your word, and you let us know if you would take that
Yeah.
date or take that deal.
That'll be fun.
252-582-5028. Or you can visit us online at clearviewtodayshow.com. We'll be right back. Elizabeth, my darling bride, what would you say is the most beneficial thing you could do for yourself in the morning?
Probably drink an entire pot of coffee when sitting.
I'd say that's a close second. No, the best thing you can do for yourself is to start every morning with a daily devotional.
If only we had one to talk about.
Well, as it turns out, we have two.
Right now, you can unlock the power of daily inspiration, wisdom, and spiritual growth in our devotional series, 30 Days Through a Crisis and 30 Days to a New Beginning. Written by our pastor, Dr. Abadan Shah, and his wife, Nicole, the 30 Days devotional series is designed to reveal new biblical truths every single day.
That's right, and every day is a new revelation to guide you on your Christian journey toward a more meaningful and purposeful life. You can pick up your copy today from our website, that's clearviewbc.org, or you can grab both books on Amazon, Apple Books, and Audible.
That's 30 Days Through a Crisis and 30 Days to a New Beginning by Abadan and Nicole Shah. And don't forget, these are only the first two in an expanding devotional series, so keep your eyes peeled for future installments.
Thanks for listening. Now let's get back to the show. Welcome back to Clearview Today with Dr. Abadan Shah, the daily show that engages mind and heart for the gospel of Jesus Christ. You can visit us online at clearviewtodayshow.com, or if you have any questions or suggestions for new topics, send us a text to 252-582-5028.
That's right, and we're here once again in the Clearview Today studio with Dr. Abadan Shah, who's a PhD in New Testament textual criticism. Dr. Shah, here's what I want to do, man. I want to give you $1 million.
Okay.
I'm going to just write you a check right now, and I'm going to make it payable. Not going to make that payable to Abadan Shah, PhD, or Dr. Abadan Shah.
Just plain old me.
Just
I
okay,
can use
Abadan.
that for myself.
Abadan Shah, I'll do it. All right, here's what I want to do.
Okay.
I want you to give me just a random date
Like from when?
from just any time this year.
This year?
Yeah.
Until
just,
like
it
today?
can't have already happened. Yeah, but until today.
Okay. April the 12th, 2024.
Okay, April the 12th. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go in Merriam-Webster app.
Okay.
April the 12th, the word of the day, I don't know what this is. I think you're about to get an easy million. Surfeit.
Ooh.
It's a formal word that refers to an amount or supply that is too much or more than you need. Surfeit.
How do you spell it?
Surfeit. 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 That's how you pronounce
Surfeit.
it. Okay. I think you're about to like this. Anytime you hear that word in conversation, Surfeit, you change into a Jason Bourne Winter Soldier style sleeper agent. You just go on a rampage. Like, you remember the scene in Civil War where Bucky Barnes went crazy? That happens to you if you ever hear that word spoken.
Really?
Yeah. But you get $1 million. Like, there's no chance you're ever going to hear someone say surf it.
Oh my
What is
goodness.
that? Hold on. I'm going to play it.
Okay. So you try to
Surf it.
say it again.
Surf it.
God, somebody get him! Somebody get him! Would you take the money?
Just takes your head, like slam into the microphone.
Seeing poor Captain America, seeing Bucky Barnes and having tears in his eyes, I don't know if I can do it.
It wears off after 48 hours. You'll go back to being you in 48 hours.
Okay.
It's just like a Mr. Hyde Hulk situation, but instead of a rampaging monster, you're just like
This
a super
incredible, like,
skilled
super agent.
sleeper agent.
Really?
Still wouldn't take it?
Would I be Bucky Barnes?
You would just be you, but with his skill set.
But would I be like all forgotten and want to kill my own friend?
No, I don't know.
I think the premise is you just want to, like,
you're just rampaging.
you're just rampaging to get out. Like, imagine like an agent behind enemy lines. You're going to get out by any means necessary.
Yeah.
Take out whoever you need to take out.
Yeah.
Jason Bourne,
and
John
after
Wick
48
style.
hours, you just go back to being you.
I don't know. I can't do that.
There's no danger.
I'm afraid I'm going to kill somebody.
What does surf it mean, though? There's no way. There's no way it would ever happen.
So the words that the rest of us got. What was your word? You remember your word?
I don't remember my
Yours
word.
was like dragoon.
Dragoon,
Yours
yeah.
was dragoon. Mine was
Sanctimonious. And David's was proliferate.
Proliferate, I know. What was the other one?
Mine was Dragoon.
Dragoon?
Yeah, I don't know what that. I thought that was a Pokemon. I never heard of
that.
And mine was Sanctimonious.
I know
Sanctimonious. Yeah. I think you would be the most in danger.
I'd probably be the most at risk, but still, like, it's rare that I think I've ever heard that used in conversation.
That's true, though. It was kind of fun when I was imagining karate chopping people, but like if I killed someone and then snapped out, that $1 million is not gonna get me out of that.
That's true.
That's a good point. Maybe I won't take it. Maybe I won't take the money.
Making better decisions. You know what helps us make better decisions?
What's that?
Is the Word of God.
Excellent segue, my friend.
The verse of the day today is coming from Hebrews chapter 9, verse 26. He then would have to suffer often since the foundation of the world. But now, once at the end of the ages, he has appeared to put away sin by the sacrifice of himself.
Amen. The book of Hebrews is really one of those where, like, the more I read it to try to feel smart, the less smart I feel.
Deep.
It is.
It is deep. I mean, it connects us to the Old Testament in such a special way, and brings the supremacy of Christ in our lives. And I love the book of Hebrews. I have preached on different sections. I even got an award, I think. Did I? I think I did. On Hebrews chapter 12, I wrote a paper on that.
Oh, wow.
And so, no, I didn't get the award, but I got one of the runner-ups. Back in seminary, there was a big competition on Hebrews 12, verses 1 and 2. And I love that section, run the race set before you, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith. So I love the book of Hebrews.
Yeah, I know this is a huge discussion and it could go down a rabbit trail, but just a short, you pretty much hold to the fact that Paul authored Hebrews.
I hold to the fact that Paul authored Hebrews based on some of the arguments from the usage, the words, and even the syntax. And I feel like could very well be Pauline.
Gotcha.
And then when you look at the external evidence from the early church, or from early church tradition, Paul was considered to be the author of Hebrews.
That's right. Awesome.
So
that's excellent.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Clearview Current, where we cut through the chaos of today's headlines with a clear Christian perspective. We're here to keep you up to date on what's going on in the world, big or small. Well,
read it again before it runs out.
It's time for the Clearview Current.
It's not going to do it.
It was time for the Clearview Current, and then we played the music.
Dr. Shah, hundreds of evangelical leaders have signed this statement outlining these shared beliefs they have about the relationship between faith and politics. It's they called it the Confession of Evangelical Conviction.
Yeah.
Sort of getting ready for the 2024 election coming up, but they're signing this thing, the Confession of Evangelical Conviction.
Yeah, so this thing I came across a couple of days ago, or last week, I would say, and it got my attention, so I went and looked it up and kind of began to read it, and it's about Confession of Evangelical Conviction. But the more I read it, the more it was like finding ways to say why we don't like President Trump.
And it feels like that's pretty much what all of American discourse has been for the past, 8 years?
Yeah.
That's the only thing anybody can focus on is let's list reasons that we don't like President Trump.
Right. I mean, like the first one is we give our allegiance to Jesus Christ alone.
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, I agree with that.
Yeah.
But what they're saying is you are a Christian nationalist. I mean, that's a new, catchword now or watchword now, which is anytime you are patriotic, that you are a Christian nationalist.
Yeah. There's so much really, really, really bad subtext happening.
Yeah.
Where like you said, it's
Yeah.
like we give our faith to Jesus Christ. It's like, yes, if that didn't need to be said, or it shouldn't need to be said.
Like
Hopefully
we don't
that would
trust
go
in a
without saying.
man.
Yeah.
Of course, we don't trust in a man. And the next one was, we will lead with love, not fear. What are they really saying? They're really saying, if this man is a fear monger, he's telling you that if so-and-so gets elected, our country is going to go down the drain.
Yep.
Yeah.
He is propagating fear. We submit to the truth of Scripture. Like, he's full of lies. It's just, we believe the gospel heals every worldly division.
That's right.
Of course, we believe that, but what they're really saying there is that this one party is doing nothing but dividing people. We are committed to the prophetic mission of the church. We value every person as created in God's image. We recognize godly leaders by their character. How often have I heard that recently?
yeah.
I just, I don't understand why Christians would vote for Trump, or because, look at his character. Look at how he is. And that's what you often hear.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll talk about that in a moment. I'm just saying, when I read, and initially I was excited. I was like, okay, there's something coming out that will bring us together.
Yeah.
But no, you just read the subtext, like John, you just said subtext is very important, means you're reading between the lines.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh.
And it's really easy to do here because the lines are 2 miles wide.
Right.
Everybody knows exactly
Everybody knows
what
you're
you're
talking about.
These are Trump critics.
Yeah.
And this document was drafted
Yeah.
to prove that with very, very loose evangelical language around it.
Right. Again, this show today is not to say, hey, vote for Trump. What I'm telling you and what we're saying is vote for biblical values.
That's right.
Vote for biblical conviction.
That's right.
That's what I'm telling you to vote for. These people, whoever they are, in fact, I went down the list and looked at it and even looked at the signers. Number 6 says, we value every person as created in God's image.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you shift that a little bit and write, we value every life
Every single life.
as created in God's image. Why don't we say that?
Yeah. Because the person that you're blasting, the person you're criticizing and demonizing, if he doesn't win, there's going to be tons more abortions in this country.
Right.
There's going to be
right.
tons more
Yep.
blood on your hands.
Yep.
And if you have bought into this foolish lie that says abortion is just this something that has been created just as a little sugar stick to get these conservatives to vote a certain way, you have bought into the lies of the liberal left or the weak moderates, or you have bought into the lie of the media, because that's not true.
Yeah.
Recently, I came across a book in my library that I bought a long time ago. It was a book on where the early church stood with regards to abortion. Did you know that this was a hot issue in the 2nd, 3rd century, 4th century? Did you know that?
Yeah.
So when people say things like that this was just manufactured in the 20th century to earn votes, you haven't done your homework.
Right.
Yeah, and I think what's funny is if you read this article this is an article that Christian Post actually published. A lot of these people who signed this document have not only expressed criticism towards Trump in the past, but also evangelicals who supported Trump.
Yeah.
And so their response to that is, hey, this isn't aimed at anybody. This is just our profession.
That's not true.
That's not true.
That's not
how
true.
how could it be? It says the declaration support from progressive Christians and Trump critics doesn't mean it's directed at Trump supporting evangelicals. Who's it directed at?
Right.
Who's it
Because
directed?
it's directed. Make no mistake that it is.
What does the document? If it's just you listing out all of your profession of faith, there's different pastors from different. Lecrae signed it, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
Which is no surprise to me. But I guess the thing is, what's the point? If you're not directing it at President Trump, if you're not directing it at his supporters, who's it for?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's and then there are other things that are said over here. The character, of course, they're not going to say one thing about the character on the other side, but
No.
they'll say something about the character of President Trump, and I know that's what they intend by that. And it's sad because you are saying that this person who's going to lead an office has to have impeccable character. Now, if you take that definition and apply it across the board, there are very, very, very few who will be of impeccable character.
Yeah.
Many of them did not have good character. In fact, the people who are running for office right now don't have a good character.
Right.
What are you really trying to say?
There's a quote, 100%. I couldn't agree more. There's a quote in this article where the guy who drafted this says, again, it's not aimed at anyone. It's just a call to the church to remember that we engage in the public sphere in the spirit of Christ and with the teachings of Jesus. I remember Jesus saying something about if anyone hurts these children, it's better that a millstone be tied
Right.
around his neck. Now, seriously, would you post a document condemning the left and condemning Kamala Harris and her policies and saying it's better that a millstone be hung around her neck? I bet you wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, they talk about, what do they say right here about the truth? Where is that at? We submit to the truth of Scripture. Okay, I hear you. You're talking about the truth and how the other side misleads people. Okay, well, there's a quick video. Let's talk about
let's do it.
truth. This is about in the debate that happened a week or so back about between President Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris.
Yeah, let's see the truth bomb she drops on us.
We're not taking anybody's guns away, so stop with the continuous lying about this stuff.
It says Trump wasn't lying, if you can't see it on your radio.
I do believe that we need to do buybacks. I support buybacks.
How mandatory is your gun buyback program?
It's mandatory. We want to ban assault weapons. We need an assault weapons ban. We need reasonable gun safety laws in this country, starting with universal background checks and a renewal of the assault weapon ban. I'm also in favor of the assault weapons ban.
They must have took the audio out of that one.
Wow, they killed the volume.
Let's see if, hold on, let's see.
Congress needs to have the courage to act and renew the assault weapons ban. So it's clear that we must renew the assault weapons ban. Let's have an assault weapons ban. We need an assault weapons ban. Demanding, as we all do, red flag laws, universal background checks, and a renewal of the assault weapons ban. We're saying we need reasonable gun safety laws, including universal background checks, and to your point, Chris, a renewal of the assault weapons ban. It's just the right thing to do. But we still need an assault weapons ban. And yeah, I am radical.
I'm a radical, yeah, I believe
we
you.
We need to get radical about what we are doing and take it seriously. Decisions is my values have not changed.
So
we're not taking anyone's guns away. So stop saying
I'm
that.
a gun owner. I mean, so you talk about truth, and you're always saying the other person is telling a lie. Well, when you fact check, they're lies.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, right now, everything is presented as if the President Trump and all his campaigns are just nothing but full of lies, and this person is just sick and tired of that, and American public needs to... Come on, that's not true.
Yeah.
And then when you sign a document like this, or you create a document like this, which is, I mean, we're not stupid. It's clearly aimed at one side. It says right here, likewise, to lie about others, including political opponents, is a sin.
Yeah, I agree. Stop doing it.
Stop doing it.
Condemn those who are doing it. And I'll tell you what. Well, go ahead.
No, finish what you're saying.
I'll say to you, go ahead and just call them out by name. If you truly think that, if you think that lying is a sin and lying against a political opponent is a sin, cool. Call out who you're talking to. It's not aimed at anybody. Well, go ahead and say who it is aimed at.
My question is, people can bravely put their name at the bottom of a piece of paper. I mean, you can just, cool, I signed confession, I signed a piece of paper. What are these people doing? And maybe they are, but week in and week out to tell their congregation, go out and vote biblical values, go register as a voter. Because if you don't go vote biblical values, our nation is going to be unrecognizable in just a few years, short years' time.
That's my thing. What's the alternative? Truly, whatever. You don't like President Trump. You don't like his rhetoric. You don't like his speak or his what am I trying to say? I guess his rhetoric. You don't like it. Cool, fine. What's the alternative? We vote in someone like Kamala Harris, who's going to completely upend the country, who's going to let abortions go undisputed.
Right.
That's we're gonna forego our morals.
Yeah, and so that's exactly the rhetoric. Because I don't like this person, then I'm going to now vote for the other side, which is ludicrous because the other side clearly has values that are contrary to Scripture.
And they'll boast about that.
Yes,
they'll
that's
tell
not a secret.
They'll tell you, I'm against you and I'm against your values.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I like you better than as a person, so I'm going to vote for you.
I am not voting for President Trump because of his, his godly character. You have to vote for a person based on can they get the job done.
Yes.
Right? Do they do what they have promised? So if they promise that I'm going to work towards cutting back taxes, did they do that? The answer is yes. They're going to, they promise that, hey, look, I'm going to preserve life. This is not about a woman's right to choose. This is about a life. Life. Somebody's dying in the process. Okay? So you're saying this person has freedom, somebody dies. I say, save the person who's dying.
Right.
And if that person is the unborn, then it matters.
That's right.
If you talk about gun laws, the bad guys will never sell their guns back. So how does the American public, and we've talked about this before, how do they stay safe? It means they protect themselves. They're able to protect themselves, not just against like the bad guys, but also against, you never know where this world may turn
That's
one
true.
day.
Yeah.
And Americans should be able to, this is part of our nature, this is part of our psyche, that we stand for freedom and liberty. And that's how we were built. We should be able to do that.
Yeah.
And if this side is saying, no, we're going to take all your weapons back and we know what's best for you, you say, no, that's not going to be done.
That's right. There's a reason they want those. And there's a reason they want you to think, and this is just a one issue, but they want you to think that this stuff is no big deal. They want you to think that you don't need an assault weapon. The military needs assault weapons and the cops need assault weapons, but you don't. And so we're going to just take them because all this bad thing is happening. But when you need them, if the government ever should become tyrannical, you won't have them.
Yeah.
This whole thing with abortion, it's not that big a deal. It's not even all you men, why are you talking about it? It doesn't even pertain to you.
Yeah.
Just chill out. And they want you to think it's no big deal.
Right. And it is a big deal.
Right.
And we as Christians should care because the early church did care. The Bible did care.
Right.
Abortion is not a 20th century or 21st century issue. It's an issue that goes way, way, way back in time. It goes back to the time of the Canaanites, the Phoenicians. It goes back to the time of the Romans.
That's right.
It goes back to the time when the early church became the established church, and they had the power to fight against abortion, and they did. And it goes back to even during the time pre-revolution. I mean, abortion is not a new thing.
Yeah.
This was happening before. Then talk about the homosexuality and the same-sex marriage and all these transgender things happening, or taking their parental rights away, and a child can have a sex change and all these kind of things. All these things, nothing new under the sun.
Right.
This has been happening in other cultures. This has been happening in other places throughout history. And people stood against this and fought against this. But now you have these radical people who are opening the floodgates for these things. But here stands a person who says, I'm not going to let that happen. Where should we stand? We should stand with, hey, if that person's going to do their job, I want that.
Right.
So speaking of things, I 100% agree. Speaking of things that are nothing new, this is a question that I've been wondering. And as you were reading some of those statements in that profession, I was wondering, is this new, where things are happening, like we're really at a turning point in the world, and Christians are saying, hey guys, can we just remember to focus on Jesus, almost ignoring everything that's going on, or refusing to act, and just be like, it's all about Jesus anyway, so let's not even get into all that. Is that new, or is that?
I mean, it's something that in the past century, I would say, past 30, 40 years, and especially recently, that has been used to silence Christians who are outspoken on biblical values during elections. You know, and purposely they'll bring up the Jesus thing, like, I'm not for the donkey or the elephant. I'm for the lamb. It's like, okay, I'm for the lamb too.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
What is your point?
but I have to live. I have to live in a world that's ruled by either the donkey or the elephant.
Right. That hyper spirituality just detracts from, confronting real issues and using your faith, using what God has given you, the opportunities God has given you to make an impact in the political sphere.
Yeah, that's right. 100%.
Yeah, and then there are many other issues that we can talk about. You talk about American. Should we kowtow to Europe? Should we listen to them, United Nations, because they don't always think the best of us?
That's right.
So we have a leader who makes others pay up for their part, and surplus happens in our economy. Hey, I like that.
Yeah,
make them pay.
100%.
Make China pay. Make Europe pay. That's a good thing.
Well, that was one thing that I did always genuinely respect about Donald Trump, is that there's no, all these other politicians, they go around all these other world leaders and in NATO and in the United Nations and all this stuff. And it's like, well, I can overlook this stuff because I can really gain from you. But he's like, what are you going to give me?
Yeah.
What money or what power? What are you going to give me that I don't have? I don't have to listen to you.
Yeah.
I
And
don't
of
have to be intimidated by you.
These are the people who want to interfere with our election because they know if this guy gets elected again, we're going to have to pay up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So what will I do? I'll do everything possible to make sure that he doesn't get elected.
Right.
Yeah.
And then when these people come along and they have this Evangelical Confession 2024, I'm like, man, come on, guys, what are y'all doing?
Yeah.
Who is publishing your books?
Right.
What special favors are y'all getting?
Yeah.
Go out. A reminder to us: go out and go vote biblical values.
Make sure you do it. Seriously, make sure you do it. And if you need some help doing that, if you need some help praying for America, there's a new book out there right now by Dr. Shah and his wife, Nicole, 30 Days Praying for America. These are 30 daily devotions to heal our nation. It's available on Amazon right now. Audible version is coming very soon, and I do mean very soon. By the time you hear this, it may already be out, or it may be close to being out. But make sure you get this book. November's coming, so you need to be prepared.
That's right. If you guys enjoyed today's episode, write in and let us know, 252-582-5028, or you can visit us online at clearviewtodayshow.com. Don't forget, you can partner with us financially on that same website. Scroll to the bottom, click that donate button, and let us know it's coming from our Clearview Today Show family. Lots of great content coming your way tomorrow. Make sure you guys tune in. We love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow on Clearview Today.